Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Two for the Show. My name is Tyler, and this is my friend Marcus. And today we're going to be reviewing the second episode of the second season of The Last of Us. With our episodic reviews, we're going to be doing more of a thumbs up, thumbs down review, just because we thought it was a little odd to do numeric reviews or like more grandstanding reviews with like just an episode. We're planning to do a full review of the season at the end after the finale. And so, yeah, I'll let Marcus here take it away, and we're going to talk about some Last of Us.
Yeah, thank you. Just a quick reminder to give us a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We appreciate you guys for checking us out. So in this episode, we have a lot happen, and they finally did it. Or not finally, they did it pretty soon, actually. I don't think any of us were expecting this to happen so quickly. Obviously, spoilers for this episode, but also spoilers for some of the major plot points throughout The Last of Us Part 2, the video game, and also the first season and first video game of The Last of Us. Major spoilers. So if you haven't seen or not familiar with the story, probably don't watch this video until you at least either finish the season or whatever. But yeah, so Abby killed Joel, and I think that a lot of us were curious to see when they were going to do it, and they jumped right into it on this episode. We also see a really action-packed episode with a crazy siege on the town with the infected. We learned some kind of new I guess lore you could say about the infected, where they're going underground to shield themselves from the cold, and they have like insulated dead infected on top of them. So pretty cool stuff. And we learn a few interesting things about Joel and Ellie's relationship, that they actually kind of hashed things out and they were good at this point in time, which makes it even more heartbreaking. So yeah, just a jam-packed episode, and an emotional one too. So, I mean, just getting right into it, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about how this episode started and the drama leading up to the big moment.
I thought it was a good episode. Like, I did like it. I liked a lot of the additions that they had, like with the siege of the town, and but there was also half of it where, like, I was, especially coming from the standpoint of being like having the knowledge from the games, like there was definitely a lot about this episode that also confused me as well. There's things like characters being swapped and that kind of thing. Like in the game, it's Jesse and Joel who go out together, and it's Ellie and Dina who have their patrol, and then Jesse kind of finds them at a certain point in the game. And I almost think what they did was a little bit to a detriment, in my opinion. Like, one complaint I had about the game is that they didn't really give a whole lot of backstory to Jesse. And so, like, I felt like out of all the characters in the game, that I didn't know him the most. And he was definitely a big part of the game, but I just felt like I didn't really know him. And so I almost thought it was detrimental to the show that they changed out those people, because I almost would have liked to see Jesse like take charge at the town during the siege and kind of fill the role that Tommy does in this episode. And I would have liked to see Tommy with Joel, like how it is in the game, just because I feel like that's a harder hitting scene. Like,
thinking about it more, some of the decisions that they made, it seems like it was Neil Druckmann, and I'm forgetting the showrunner's name or whoever is helping him adapt this for TV. Yeah, they're trying to kind of make it more believable for the general audience, because there's a lot of stuff in the video game story-wise that obviously left a lot of people like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, there's plot holes like everywhere. And I think that Dina going with Joel gives her motivation to go with Ellie on this journey that they're going to go together later in this season, because they're going to go on this huge revenge journey. And I think Dina is going to feel guilty because she was actually the one who outed Joel. Because in the video game, Tommy and Joel just like give their identities to these strangers for like no reason. And it's very not like their characters at all.
I'm Tommy. I'm Joel. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my social security number and my address. And, like it didn't make any sense for their characters, especially in a post-apocalyptic world. You don't like just give your identity out to people, especially when you have so many enemies. And so Dina calling out for Joel, she didn't know that Abby was there. So it's a pretty natural thing. Like if I was expecting you to come back and I heard somebody come in on the roof, I'd call your name. So totally believable there. And then, like I said, Dina's probably going to feel partly responsible for Joel's death because she accidentally outed him, and was there when he died. So it kind of gives her more motivation to go out on this revenge journey with Ellie. And then with Jesse, I agree with you. I'm trying to figure out exactly what they're trying to do with his character. I think that they're trying to give some of the characters that had less character development in the video game more screen time, and change them up a little bit. Like specifically Jesse, but also like Abby's crew, like Owen and Mel and all of them. In the video game, they're also evil in the video game. Like they all hate Joel too, and like what's his name, Manny spits on his body, and like it's just so mean spirited. And in the show, they're like having natural reactions to their friend basically beating this guy to death and torturing him and all that. So they act more human like, more relatable, I think. And they're also trying to give you that emotional connection to Jesse because we know what happens to him. So, we want to hear like, oh, Jesse, I know you're going to be the leader of this town eventually. It's like, oh, yeah, damn. Yeah. So that's why I think that they are changing up some of the stuff. That's kind of like Neil Druckmann's opportunity to kind of redeem himself in some of the more controversial and like nonsensical stuff from the second video game.
Honestly, I feel like the way they did Joel's death scene in this one almost made less sense to me than it did in the game. Just because like I feel like there's like no way he would have gone to that cabin. And especially because they like in the game, they get chased literally all the way to the cabin. In this one, they just go like no one's chasing them. And same issue that I had with the game. And I'll say this, that I don't really mind that they killed Joel. Like I said in the first episode, like Last of Us 2 game gave me like the best, I was so on board to go on a tale of revenge from that moment. Like it's big and it's shocking, but I don't think it really hurt the story that they killed Joel. Kind of the way they did it was kind of weird, and like the changes that they made it seem a little bit weird. Like I don't think there's any way that Joel would have went to that cabin, especially not even being chased, and then like turn his back on them and that kind of thing, and like fully trust them to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And,
they really tried to sell the point that it was like freezing outside, because Abby goes outside and she's like shivering. She's like, oh, it's so cold out here, and like all the characters are just like totally bundled up, and Joel has like the snow and ice on his beard and hair and stuff. So they really just tried to sell the point that it was like freezing, and if they did not find shelter, they were going to die to the weather. So I guess that's what they were trying to sell. But I agree with you, like it just doesn't make any sense for his character to trust this random girl, when he has so many enemies.
And especially too, because he could see the town, which I feel like adds to the list of reasons why he wouldn't go back, is because he could see the town like being attacked, and he still goes to the cabin with Abby and for a group like of 4 people kind of thing. And it's like against a herd, that doesn't matter. Like I feel like at least he would go to be close to see if there was a potential way for him to help, kind of thing, or try and find Ellie.
Jumping right into the actual scene itself, I struggle because I agree with you. I think that narratively, him dying, a lot of people want to defend him because they love him. Like he's such a good character and all that. he's kind of not the best person though, and he kills a lot of people, and he does a lot of messed up things. So it's kind of like the consequences of his actions coming to fruition, and him paying for all the suffering that he caused. So I get it from that point of view, but like, man, what it reminded me most is like the scene from The Walking Dead where they kill Glenn, where it's just such a lovable character and they die in such a brutal way. There's just something in our human minds that makes us like just not be able to move on from that or connect with it in a way that I think they're trying to get across. And in this show, it's very different from the video game. Some of the like complaints that I have initially are like the fact that they knocked out Dina was weird to me. I'm like, why are they wasting that kind of medication just to knock her out for an hour? Like, why didn't they just move her to a different room?
Like, it was just such like did Tommy. It's like, why are they being so easy on her?
Yeah, just pistol whip her and knock her out. Yeah, I don't know. They're like, oh crap, she's Dora. We can't hurt Dora. But yeah, that was weird. And then the casting for Abby, I can't see it. And I'm really trying, because I know that they're trying to do something different here, but it just, that actress does not represent Abby for me. She's too small. She's too kind of like average and weak looking. She doesn't have the aura that Abby did in the video game. Like, Abby was just a force to be reckoned with. Anywhere she walked, she just kind of, had her chest stuck out, and she's just this giant jacked woman. And while she's killing Joel, like there's that scene there, she's like punching him, and it just looks so unbelievable. It doesn't look real, because you can tell that the actress is like kind of pulling her punches, and she's like just this average girl. And it just, I don't know, it didn't compute in the way that, I think it should have.
I agree and I disagree. I definitely agree that she doesn't have the same aura as the Abby, but I feel like she's brings like this kind of almost vindictive like wrath. Abby, being a gigantic muscle, essentially, like just showed in pure strength, but she just had in like pure determination, or at least that's the way the vibe I was getting. Like, even though she's smaller, she's skinnier, she's definitely not as muscular kind of thing. Like, I still got the same vibe of just the pure wrath from her. Even if her punches aren't, she's still beating both Joel and her fist bloody to like kill him. I like it. It's definitely different, definitely not the same. But I don't hate it.
Thinking about it more and more the past couple of days, we don't have somebody, in my opinion, that is strong enough in this show to lead it and be as interesting and as charismatic as Joel. I feel like even the average viewer would feel that way. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm biased because I played the video game, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Like, even when she yells to Mel, she's like, "Shut up." I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, that's not intimidating in the way that it would have been in the video game. And I don't know. That's just my opinion. But, also Ellie too. We kind of talked about this in the review of the first episode. I'm having a really hard time connecting Ellie to Bella Ramsey. She just still looks so young and kind of like she's still acting like a punk teenager. She hasn't really grown up, and maybe she'll act more mature in this next episode and the rest of the season. But her reaction to Joel's death in this episode, it was okay. It was fine, but there's still kind of that weird thing that's in the back of my mind where I'm like, this isn't Ellie, man. She's not as good, Yeah. And I don't know if that's really because of Bella Ramsey's acting, or it's just because of the fact that she's already full grown when she started, so she wasn't going to look different by now.
I'm cautiously optimistic. It's definitely going to be apparent here in the next couple episodes if they can hold it or not. One thing I thought, Ellie's reaction to Joel's death is that, and another change that I thought was kind of weird is that they didn't knock her out. Kind of beat her up. Like, they don't beat her up as bad as they do in the game, but but they keep her awake, and then they just walk out and she just crawls over to Joel, which that addition I thought was sweet, like where they put She puts his hand, and like I like that, but I kind of wish they would have knocked her out or had Ellie like trace him, do something. Because
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And so like that, I was like, ooh, this is not a great start so far. Just to like the pure wrath that Ellie becomes.
Yeah, it remains to be seen, and I'm just like you said that we were going to do a full review of the season. I'm going to be honest, I don't know. Like I almost have no motivation to continue to watch it after this episode because of the concerns that I have.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, obviously like I want to continue to watch it out of curiosity. And also my wife wants to watch it too. She's still invested because she didn't play the games. So she has no frame of reference for like some of my complaints, but you know, a lot of people that I've talked to who are casual viewers, like I actually talked to my mom after I watched this episode, and she was telling me about her work friends, and they were all talking about it. None of them have played the video games, and they're like, "What the F was that?" Like they were like so confused, and like my mom was like, I was crying, and like I didn't understand why they would do that, and I hate Abby, and I'm like, oh my God, you know exactly how we feel now, and my mom's not going to watch it. She straight up told me, I'm done. I'm not going to continue to watch this show.
Interesting.
Yeah, she just loved Joel too much, and so I guess some of her work friends are going to continue to watch it. But yeah, I mean, you know, just yeah, they have a really hard thing to do to try to sell not only Ellie changing into this crazy murder ninja that she turns into, but Abby becoming the force that she does too. Like, there's just so much work that needs to be done, and I don't know if it's going to happen.
I'm curious what they're going to keep from the games and what they're not going to keep, because I'm sure they're going to do the Seraphites and Lev and Lev's sister, who I'm drawing.
Yeah, you know.
Name.
Yeah, and it's like thinking about the video game, and it's been a while since I've played the video game, so I'm having a hard time remembering the story too. So there might be stuff that I'm forgetting, but I can't like think of anything that happens after this in the video game that I'm really looking forward to seeing, other than the Rat King. That's like the singular thing that I'm really excited to see.
And that's probably what they're going to cut too.
Yeah, I would be so
but
disappointed if they cut that though.
Yeah.
That would be so disappointing. There's so many cool things to look forward to in the video games that like the story was able to connect it, but you were still looking forward to the next episode. Now there's really not anything that I'm looking forward to. So like the journey to get there doesn't seem as interesting, because when you're playing a video game, you still have the gameplay. You still have all of the cool gunfights and the stealth gameplay, and which is The Last of Us is really good at, but you don't have that when you're just watching a show. It's all narrative, and it's a completely different experience that I don't think is going to be able to remain interesting enough to justify tuning in every week.
I also am curious if they're going to do the switch now, or like at least start giving episodes like almost equally. Like you see Abby and Ellie, like half the episode is Abby, half is Ellie, because I feel like if they really do it like they did in the game, where they do a lot of Ellie and then switch to Abby, I don't think that's
viewership's going to drop.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how they're going to handle it. To the show's credit, up until this point, I think they made some good decisions, because like we were saying at the top of this review or discussion, they made some changes to the story that actually made the story more believable. So who knows, maybe they are actually make the show better than the video game. And to that point, actually, if you want to jump into the siege of the town, that was cool. I actually really liked that addition.
The one thing that made me laugh a little bit was where Tommy kind of like runs away and then ends up in a dead end in his own town, where he's like a leader.
In his own I thought the same thing. I'm like, you didn't know that was blocked off? Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And there was definitely some tropey stuff that took me out of the moment, the plot armor stuff. But, you know, in this episode where Tommy is like, he notices that Maria's getting attacked, and he just like starts walking straight forward with the pistol, and somehow all of the infected like walk right by him. kind of giving him like a pass or whatever.
Oh,
That part took me out of it. And then what you were saying where he backed himself into that corner and, he's using the flamethrower and there's supposed to be tension, but I'm like, Tommy's not going to die.
Yeah.
Showing Tommy as he's just as badass as Joel, excuse me. And, Jesse really cares for Ellie and all that kind of stuff. And, just trying to make them a little bit more relatable, I guess, is maybe the point in all of the swapping. But, having Jesse back in town would have been really cool to see, because I actually really like the actor that's playing Jesse too.
mm-hmm.
He's doing a great job. Yeah, but I really liked the siege scene. I thought it was really exciting and interesting. Like when they push the oil over the wall and it, they shoot it and then throw the torches and it lights the fire and then the bloater comes through the wall and then they set the dogs on them and the dogs go and attack the infected. I'm like, what is this? What is it about The Last of Us and abusing dogs?
Yeah, I was like, I also don't really know if dogs can be infected. So like, I feel like it would almost be worse if dogs could get infected because now you'd have.
I thought the same thing. Yeah. I guess not though, because that bear in the first episode didn't like turn into an infected bear. That'd have been cool.
Mm-hmm. If you're thinking about cordyceps and if they can take humans, they should be able. Well, I guess maybe not because it's like goes off body temperature or something, and dogs tend to run hotter than humans. So that makes sense, I guess. Because one of the things that wasn't necessarily a complaint for me about the first season, most of the episodes didn't have a whole lot of action in them. Like it was more character focused on Joel and Ellie, and like they would get in like one little fist fight and then never really get too violent until like the very end of the season. And this season so far has been kind of interesting because there's been, especially this episode where they have like a full on siege, staying more true to the DNA of the first season, that it would have gone more like the game and just been more like kind of a character exploration on Dina and Ellie, like pairing together for their patrol, like how it was in the game. But for this episode, they took it in a completely different direction to go more action, and I was happy about that. Like I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Made it kind of maybe soften the blow of what happens to Joel, and maybe not. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you. The more action packed, the better at this point, especially after what happens. Like they're gonna need to do some interesting stuff to keep people watching.
Yeah.
So more goated wall scenes, more bloaters, more infected and clickers and stalkers and whatnot, because that was actually one of the biggest complaints about the first season for a lot of people, was that the infected kind of took a back seat. So in this season, I'm hoping that they kind of remedy that problem and show some more encounters with infected, because honestly, they're the best part of the show. I don't know about you, but that's like the one thing in this series where I feel like they totally get it right, is the infected are so cool. They're so intimidating. Like the very first episode of the first season where Joel, like basically the shit hits the fan and Joel's running away with his daughter and the zombies are chasing him. Like it's so intense. Mm-hmm. And same for this episode when Abby and Joel are running from them and they're just so intimidating. And then the bloater, like chef's kiss. They're doing all that right. So more of that. So in regards to my thumbs up or thumbs down, I would definitely give this episode a thumbs up. I know that it seems like I have a lot of problems with it, and I do. This episode was a fun ride, though. I think that the action in it was so cool. I think that the scene where Joel meets his demise, although maybe not as effective as the video game, was still effective enough to obviously make the normies get angry, including my mom. So they were doing something right. I'm tentative about the next episodes and the rest of the season, but we'll just ride with it, right? See what happens.
I agree with you. It's a thumbs up for me as well. I think all the additions with the siege, and I thought this episode was good, and I think a lot of that was held up for me by that siege. And this might be the last thumbs up I give this show, but it is a thumbs up for me. I feel like now we're at the part that I was truly waiting for, just to see. Yep. Like this is my peak curiosity to see where this show goes. If it just ain't that good, then we'll probably talk about it for a little bit and maybe peter off from there. But We only want to do this while we're having fun, and if the show gets to a point where it's not fun anymore, then
Yeah. Unless it makes us angry, and then it'd be fun to talk about.
and that's going to be it for our review of the second episode of the second season of The Last of Us. And yeah, give us a like if you like the video. Check out some of our other videos, our episode 1 review, or we just did a review for the movie Sinners, which we highly recommend. Check out our review if you want to learn more about it. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. See you on the next one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.